Let's hold a little bit of optimism in unoptimistic times. It is I. It is him, the Warrior Junior. Yes, I'm still here. I'm still here, believe it or not. It's been a little while, so I hope that you know everything is okay with you people out there. I am still here. John Cena used to yell, "The champ is still here!" As you get like really excited. Is it just me or like as you get older, the highs? My friend told me. He's older than me. He goes, "WJ, the older you get, the highs are not so high and the lows are not so low. It kind of like evens out." A lot of truth to that. A lot of truth to that. Let me give you an example as I position myself a little better here. Allow me to adjust myself properly and accordingly. I haven't heard that in a long time. I was at a strip club maybe 20 years ago, 25 years ago, and the woman says, would you like to adjust yourself? I mean, what is it? Jadu. In chess, it's Jadu. I don't know what the fuck she's saying. It's like, pull out my dick. I don't know what the fuck she's talking about. The light, that comes from, it turns a little bit. It's not supposed to turn off. But, again, I've talked about this many times. It's not that, oh, you have the dark lighting, you're ashamed of what you look like. It's not at all, not at all. It's just this light, that's all that it's as bright as it goes. It's on a sensitive thing to where if anybody in the building does anything, just the next setting is off. So basically, it has like three things. So look, so this is when it's off. 1, 2, 3. That's it. As bright as it goes until I get something better. He said, well, why, the Warrior Junior? Why don't you have something better? What's wrong? A light is what, 20, $30? One of those lights that just has a knob thing that, you know, I can make the same argument. People say, why don't you make your place comfortable? Like, get a couch, get a nice, make it. And I've talked about this many times. I live in a, like a welfare building, and these people that live here, they do that. They really make it like it's a house, like it's a, and for those people, they didn't amount to anything in life, and I feel like if I do the same thing, then I'm relegating, I don't know if that's the right word, myself to below mediocrity, like poor, like that's all you, you're never going to own nothing. You still live in government housing, it's nothing. So, the whole idea is no, minimal, I guess it's called minimalist, but, just in case, like, I'm going through, and I'm going to lead in, this leads into the topic. I'm going through a thing where, how do you say this? Okay, I'm used to like getting a certain amount of money every month, through whatever my deals and things and whatever, and basically it stopped. And the reason that it stopped was I tried to make a substantial, life-changing financial move 2 years ago, and now all of a sudden it caught up to me after it didn't all work. Like basically my retirement check, stopped, and that's fucked up because that what happened was 2 years ago. I was in futures. I was in not crypto. I was in futures, basically crypto afterwards. And what happened was it shot up, and the next day it went all the way down, and I got a margin call, so it was over. It's like, oh, it went up, 50,000. I started with like 25 grand. It shot up, like 35 or 50,000, and then it dipped to like down to 20,000. So it's all gone. I couldn't. I said, well, okay, 50 grand. My condo, the one I want in Vegas, is 100,000. So I said, I'm on my way. I wasn't gonna be greedy. I was just gonna try to get there, get that 100 grand, and get out. And it didn't. So, but unfortunately, you can only make so much money when you're on this, getting survival money every month. So basically, it stopped all that for me. So I lost that, lost that. This is, it sounds like a lot, but it's not. I mean, here, give me a second. I'm gonna have my tea. I'm gonna really break this down, and you're gonna hold on, hang in there. Sometimes you can't wait to say something, but sometimes you gotta learn patience. As you get older, you gotta learn patience. This is a chai spice with a special ingredient. I put it in there. I haven't had it in a long time, so um, here it is. Good. My taste buds have been returning back to normal. I guess whatever happened, whatever issue I had over a month, looks like it's kind of gone away. So I'm really happy about that. What good is any money if you don't have your health? What. And it is very hard for me when I go to the hospital. It's like I'm can't wait. I hate being there because I spend so much time in the gym and health and fitness and eating quality foods. And it's like I'm in a hospital. Like this is for people that don't know how to take care of themselves. What the fuck are they? Like I don't belong. Shawshank Redemption. Remember that line? And Andy Dufresne. Good, great movie. If you've never seen The Shawshank Redemption, go check it out. It's worth the time. Morgan Freeman and Tim Robbins both paid their dues as actors, and they hit. It's I forgot. Now I want to move into that, but I wanted to mention prior what was kind of important. Because that leads to paying your dues, that leads into not union dues, but that too, if you make it, but until like dreams not realized. But okay, so you know, yeah, it's really fucked up because you know it's like damned if you do, damned if you don't. You stay on this low, poor income kind of thing. How do you move ahead in life when it's like the chasm? It's like I looked up this. Why do people stay in LA if the rents are so high? They really, really want to be here, or they have very high paying remote jobs to where, it's like they can survive and make a little bit, they want to be here. And you know, I talked to this woman today that I know for a very long time. And, she's like a good person. I met her when I was 25. I'm almost 50, so it's a long time. And her mom just passed away. She was living with her mom, and she lives in this condo in Irvine. I don't know what the worth is, but now it's not. I think it's she lives there, but she's got a brother, so I guess I don't know what the deal is. I told her to get something in writing, and she goes, And I said, well, you want to be like my mom and be stubborn and not get nothing, And I hate to say, but the termites, as we know, they come out of the woodwork when somebody dies. They show up to the funeral, and then the immediate whoever thinks they can get, then the hands come out, the sledgehammer comes out, they'll get the lawyers, whatever, and say, hey, this is mine, you know, because we all know that property is worth a lot. So of course they want it. They don't want it as a memory. They want it so they can cash in on it. Do you blame people? Oof. No, it's yeah, no, it's so it's like everything is so expensive, so I guess, then if they're kids and stuff, everything costs. So I guess it's like it's part of me is like understands the Chazer mentality, like that's in Jewish and Yiddish. Chazer is like a pig, but part of me doesn't, get it. Like more of me understands it, I'm not saying I contribute to that because I mean, see, in my mind, I mean, there should be enough to go around, but apparently there isn't. And what I mean by that is let's first, let's look at this issue before I get into the topic. They keep raising gas prices. Well, because of what's going on in Russia and Ukraine. I don't care, like, what is going on there. Like, to me, our country should be self-sufficient on, but it's not. It's not. We import stuff that, it's all business and stuff. And, maybe we're not reliant on that. And it's just an excuse for the gas companies to try to make more money. That's what I think COVID was. It's just a way that the pharmaceutical can make more money. It's all about that Hazer mentality, just taking advantage of people and things, And it's like what can you do about it? So who cares? Why even discuss? Well, that's all I can try to do is bring these subjects out into the light and let you think. And that's the key word, is think. Use your mind, think about. But most people don't even do that. Just work and sit and watch television, and then, oh, well, what can I do about it? Nothing. All right, go another tomorrow. And pay your, the gas, that you're contributing, and then you're not making that much money anyway. So I saw this guy. He was so mad. I was trying to cross the street, and he was yelling about the gas prices and something. I mean, it's amazing. Like, they all look at what they don't have instead of like what they have. Now I have a friend that lives in low cost housing like me, and he goes, WJ, look at the bright side. Like, we know people that don't even have that. So you want me to look at other people that are below, like they're not even surviving, like they're on the streets or something like that. I knew, and this leads into the topic. When I was 25, I highly considered going in the military. I was gonna go in the Air Force. And the only reason I didn't go is because I had a passion for dance and baseball still at 25. And I knew if I signed into the military, then you're in, it doesn't matter. Air Force, that was my choice. That was, I thought, the least harshest, that's proper English, of the 5 branches. I guess Coast Guard might be, more, what I mean is, it seemed like Air Force more for intellectual, not everybody's a pilot and stuff like that, but it's not more grunt. I mean, I guess there could be grunt work kind of, but not like Army or Marines. Navy, of course, is going to be out on a ship, They're all respectful, like I respect them all. It's just taster's choice and preference, And, Coast Guard, you could still be deployed in the Coast Guard. You could be deployed to coast overseas. And people don't realize, oh, Coast Guard, that means I'm just going to stay here, like watching over either the Mexican border, Canada, that's it. No, or Florida, no. You could be deployed over Europe, any of those fucking, all that peninsula, whatever, Suez, I don't know what the fuck over there, the Strait of Hormuz or whatever the fuck. Still, it's guarding a coast. There's military, U.S. military all over the world, stationed permanently in lots of places. Germany, my dad was stationed there in the army. Anyway, and what happened was, I had a very good score in the ASVAB, and I was like, all right, it pushed for the next step for the physical thing, and I knew I could, I'd be fine. And what happened was, I started to think, because it felt like it was getting close, and I said, I'm a dancer. That's my passion. Like baseball, that's my passion. And plus, I had some college under my belt, so they bring me in as like E2 or E3. And there's more officers in the Air Force than any other branch, so you're going to be the lowest on the totem pole. And I said, at 25, And I looked at the pay scale and low, and I mean, if I was like homeless or something, I'd say, all right, now because you're being ridiculous, and you really got, but still living at my grandparents and grandma's thing, and I was like, I really didn't need it, I really was like, so I didn't do it, and you know, in hindsight, I mean, should I have, for 3 years, for 4 years? But then there's a thing called inactive IRR, inactive ready reserve, where they still could call you up. I've heard of horror stories where people have done their time and then they're stuck there. They can't get out. And then I've met so many people. Like, I met this guy that was in the army. I was at a casino years ago at the Commerce, and this guy he was a captain in the army, young. He goes, I can't wait to get the fuck out of this. I mean, people I've met that can't wait to get out. So I say, man, why? My uncle made a reference to it being like jail. I don't think that's the case, but nevertheless, I just did not. I mean, an officer that'd be a different story. That'd be a different story because in any branch, even if you're the lowest in the Navy, if you're an ensign, you're still like an officer. I mean, it's a big deal. Commission, they give you that commission, higher pay, and you work your way up. Like you work your way up. It's like a career. It's a big deal. When you're captain in the army or something. 03 or in the Air Force. If you're up there, major or something, that's like a big fucking deal. And it's just, I didn't see it happening. And years went by, and then I already talked about the story about the National Guard, where I had like I kept going to college, so I had more and more credits, units, and it was like they had the college first program, and it was like, I think I was like almost 40 years old, and they lowered the enlistment age where I couldn't get in to do it. I mean, I was like, all right, fine, because the deal was really good. They send you immediately to like OCS, Officers Candidate School, and you're immediately E5. You're a sergeant. Like, they don't talk to you like private. You're already a sergeant. They're training you to already. Once you get through it, you're an officer. So it's like, these E8s or whatever. I was gonna say E9, but these senior master sergeants are training you. You're already a sergeant. Then when you graduate, they actually salute you because you're like above. You're a second lieu. You're 01. So I was like, all right, well, I go through like 12 or 16 weeks of leadership training, basically, and then they will commission you, and then they expect you to go back to school and finish your bachelor degree so you can go up. I mean, it's a real. I said, this is a win-win-win, and I said, fine, I'll do it. And then that falls under a department of the army, and they wouldn't let me in. So it was over. And that was like when I was 40, and already talking, man. I'm going to be 50 at the end of next year. And this leads into the topic more about what I'm talking about. So when dreams are not realized, or they're sort of realized, I already talked about my baseball thing. At 31, I was able to walk away with at least a piece of paper which validated all the years and everything I went through in baseball. But it's not just that piece of paper, it's all those experiences in high school and college, at least I had, and minor league tryouts and trying to build connections in professional baseball. Now we talk about the wrestling business. Well, I've always, I've had interest in WWE, WWF, probably even before. I even like baseball. It goes back to, yeah. I was thinking about this. Well, 1990, I was playing. I was working my way in I was playing high school baseball at the time. I met all those wrestlers. 1990. So I would say it's about the same. But I watched primetime wrestling with Gorilla Monsoon and Bobby the Brain Heenan every on TBS every week, or any time wrestling was on, I watched it. Saturday Night's Main Event, anything. And everybody knows the Ultimate Warrior and Hogan, Ravishing Rick Rude, these guys, the Ted DiBiase, Mr. Perfect, it was like, I remember when Roddy Piper was guest starred on the primetime wrestling in a feud with Rick Rude. It was like, I remember I told you my WrestleMania 6 thing. I watched it scrambled. I heard it scrambled clear. It was like the most incredible thing. It was like radio version of it. Ultimate Warrior. I know it sounds so campy, the Ultimate Challenge, but I don't care what they nowadays what they did with Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns unifying titles. This nothing, man. It's nothing compared to these characters. What they were like, Macho Man, who is unfucking believable. That like back in the day, like it's just you know it, there was like a resurgence in my opinion. Now I know they had it going on all those years. And then WCW came in, and I never watched it. That was like toward the late '90s. I didn't watch WrestleMania 2000. I didn't follow. All those years with Mankind. And the weird, the Undertaker's ministry. Uh, WrestleMania 15. I've seen them all because there's like an anthology. You can watch that. I'm just curious, but that was like. But then in like 2002, I felt there was something that like really just got better and better. Like the emergence of Kurt Angle. All those guys, Eddie Guerrero. The Benoit thing. I already talked about. He's unforgiven and never be what he did. He's banished, so it doesn't matter. But my point is, those people like him, he's part of that great, that time of then Lesnar, Cena, this is really good. So I started watching again. Up until maybe I don't know 10 years ago. Then it looked like took a shit again. All these people I never heard of, and I stopped watching. And I was like, this Dean Ambrose, Seth Rollins guy. I don't know. But I did say that guy that, that one guy could, CM Punk, boy, he can talk. He basically saved the company, there's every time that, company needs a savior, somebody to save because it's not, no one's watching. He was it. They found a real winner with that guy. First I saw this guy, like, who's this skinny, tall twerp? Who's this guy? But then I saw him talk, and I said, all right, this guy is a real winner here. I haven't heard anybody talk like that since Roddy Piper. I don't care. Ric Flair, I never liked him. I know that, woo, I know that, whatever, but he tried to talk, but he's not a Piper, and CM Punk is like a smart Piper. Like he's a very, very rare, like Punk smart. He's a smart Punk, he's a fucking wow, or then the writing, whoever did, it's just really, really good. His seriousness and the way he comes across is like wow, how he can hold his own, when he's face to face with Triple H. I was like, God, wow, what a great thing. I liked when the Big Papa Pump came in. That was they had to, you had to water it down for WWE, but I like, that they put that ambulance music on, and then the red is like, holla, if you hit it, and he comes out with his glasses, that angry looking face. That belt is mine. he was really good. He went right for Triple H. It was really good. Really, it was good. It just, um, I guess, you take so much shit, it does. It can fuck you up. Like these guys they're on hard stuff, and these bodybuilders have wobbly egos nonetheless. So a lot of that is just they're them, just cranked up. Like it's must be really something when the crowd's behind you and you're standing there like you're wow, that must really be incredible. And that was, I wish I could be. That was me. I wish I could do that. But it's like it's a combination of factors. Number one, I'm too old, I'm too small. I listened to this audiobook with Daniel Bryan talking, same thing he was told, but still, this guy was very perseverant when he was younger. That is the key, folks. You can try to fight against the uphill battle when you are young. You can try to do these crazy things, but when Father Time kicks in, I can equate myself to a night. Take whatever year you were born, and God, I wish it was 79, but it was actually 73. But let's take a 1973 Corvette, right? Now, polish it, you paint, repaint, make it looking real nice. Wow, was it cross fuel injection? I don't know, like 70. I'm born, I'm barely born. So it's an old car though. You turn that thing on, and it's got to warm up for like 10 minutes, and then if it's got everything, and then slow and running, and then you can drive. Hopefully these parts don't go falling off of it. But my point, it's an old car. It's not a 2000 Corvette or a ZR1 or whatever. That was a 91. But 2000 whatever. We're in 2022. Even that's an old car. So I want you to think about this. Wherever age you are, and you're you're battling time, and it's not so you can't do anything in life, but you are up against not only all the competition, not only looking for representation. Like let's just we're taking wrestling. We're talking about wrestling. Like if you want to be a pro wrestler, be in an independent circuit, whatever, and then no one cares. There's so many people. It's almost the territories. It's not that. There's organizations now. There used to be territories, but no. And there's like only the main deal is WWE. Now there's an independent Impact, whatever, ROH, but this is everybody knows WWE is the big show. It's a big show. Woo! So you've got all those things working against you in an uphill battle. Now, you take a guy like the Ultimate Warrior. I mean, the guy is like 6'4", 275, 285, whatever. Comes from a bodybuilding background. He was going to try to get his doctor of chiropractic. He talked about that. I met him once. I was a real big fan. And these guys are rare exceptions. Now I know there's guys like Daniel Bryan, but how many of those guys are there like that? They always say Rey Mysterio. He's a luchador. There's only one. It's like there's plenty of those guys that are luchadors in Mexico. But Rey Mysterio Jr. is like the one. They stuck with him. People liked him, and he stayed. Whatever. Over the weekend I went to Okay, there's two more things I want to. This is what I want to get off my chest. So, Rikishi's got a school in the valley, and it's open like 2 days a week. And I'm sitting, going to my gym every fucking day religiously, twice a day at the park. I mean, I'm working out like my whole life is just revolved around bodybuilding. But in my mind, I'm thinking like, I want to be in the wrestling business. Like, I want to be part of this. Now, again, I realize my age. I realize, but not everybody's a performer. There's so many other people involved that make the show happen. And I said, I got to get out to this fucking place. I have to, like, I met him in 08, I think. And I said that maybe there's some way that I could just go out there and see what's going on. And I did last week. I went out there Thursday, and he remembered me. And he welcomed me to sit in. And I was like, dude, you give me a chance, I'm gonna fucking work my ass off here. You don't know, like, I said it, I told him that in a nice way, not a. And I'm seeing all these kids, they're like in their 20s, whatever, most of them. And there's a ring there, Van Nuys. And I'm watching what's going on. They had a group of more advanced wrestlers that were in the ring doing some things. Then like a beginners kind of class where they're working on just lockups and stuff. And first thing I did, I sized myself up compared to what I'm looking at. Now I'm not gonna. It's hard to say something without belittling people, but I'm just gonna, I didn't really say it there, but I'll say it here. None of those guys really look like anything. None of them. And when I mean anything, I'm talking about like a physique like a bodybuilder. Now, I know bodybuilders are jacked, because they're on stage or whatever like that. But okay, talking about like John Cena, for example, Batista, something decent. Not well, they're not decent. They're big for that. I mean, they're not on stage. The ring is the stage, and wrestling entertainment. But you know what I mean. This one Mexican guy, he's a nice guy. His name was Ringmaster. I did forget what his real name is, but we really hit it off. First I thought he was Black Pearl, co-owner of the gym. I mean, of the KnockX Pro of the wrestling thing. But looked like anything. I mean, my height, he kind of had like some decent weight on him, but not shape like me. So I asked him, I said, dude, what do you weigh? I asked him, and he goes, well, I'm around 5'8" or 5'7", I don't know. He goes, I'm like 220, he goes. I'm standing right next to him, I go, what do you think I weigh? And he goes, well, you're smaller than me, but not by much. He goes, you're maybe 205, 210. I think he might have said even 215, but he said, the number was smaller, but it was well over 200. And I told him, I go, 180s. About like 185, a little lower, about there. And it was like he was taken aback, And I go, dude, yeah, I'm solid as fuck, dude. And he's talking. He went, well, I don't have time to work out. I got kids and stuff like that. I'm not gonna go there. But here, I'm holding my own against the guy that's 220. Now, the thing is, and there were girls there too. And I'm going to leave that for the end. Well, maybe I'll just open up now. I was going to, because it's a very difficult, it's opening up the can of worms for me. And what happened was I'm hanging out there, and I'm there to, like, they had me kind of do commentating stuff along with this other chick. And then this woman walks in. And when she walked in, I just lit up. Like in my mind, I looked at her and it was like I was just like in awe, you know? I mean, it was like it. I never seen something like it was just absolutely perfect. I mean, she just walks in, these women, whatever, and it's like she knew exactly like how to dress. This is like a practice thing, you know. Like this is not real show, you know. It's like, but like her attire for wrestling, whatever, and her stature. Like now, again, she's maybe like 20 feet away from me. Now, I didn't want to, you know, I don't do that because it's like you're in my mind. It's like just now you gotta understand, like the way that I am, I'm either like when I, you know, and it's God, you know, it's really hard sometimes because you know you want to be brutally honest as a man because look, we're guys, you know, we want to, if we like women, we get turned on, you know, like it's normal. But the problem is the normal way of doing things is kind of like it's not, you're not rewarded for it. Like there's protocol, you know, like you have to get to know them, they have to like you, you have to be the right person, they have to feel connection to you. There's all these things, and then it can all blow up on you. Like of course, what I like, so many other guys like too, you know, and that's it just breaks my spirit, you know, like all these things start going on through my mind, you know. And I thought you're never gonna get a woman like that, and then they come up and they flirt with you and they pretend they like, but you, it's just, it's like depressing, you know, like it's like window shopping, but you're dreaming and you're never gonna get because you that the bar is so fucking. I start thinking like, I mean, it's not like the movies where the guy, you know, he's just a good-hearted person, he gets it. It doesn't work like that in real life, okay? It doesn't. It doesn't. For a fact. There might be rare circumstances that guys have done that, but in reality, no. It's a guy that has money, that's a provider, that's a successful man that lures those women in. That's all it is status and power, whatever. That's the reality. That's the reality. And that's why guys, I listen to Johnny Burbot talking. That's why guys like that, me, we don't get nothing because we are nothing. You might think you're something. It doesn't matter. You're sized up by society, not just physical stature. That's not as important. You know, like, I mean, think about that power that celebrity has. Like the guys that are rich, they're undeniable. They get whatever they want. You know, like it's okay. It goes without saying. So this woman walks in, and I just like was blown away. Okay. Now, okay, so, but I'm able to not focus on her because I don't want. I know, like, if I do that, then you're showing too much weakness, and you know, and you try to hit on her, and then all of a sudden you wind up getting thrown out of the school, you know, because your intentions are not proper, you know, like you're there for the wrong reasons, and you just started there. Very easy to throw yourself down a cliff, down a hole, when you're trying to work your way in, and then all of a sudden it is, hey, what are you doing, you know, like it's not, there's a place for things at a certain time, and that doesn't guarantee you a damn thing either. Anyway, I did my best to ignore her, you know, and I did. And I'm doing the commentary alongside this other chick and stuff, and at the end, like, I'm talking to some of these students that are there, and none of these. I mean, I just say this nice. None of these guys are put together. You know, they're not. I'm not the biggest guy in the world, but I work out really, really hard and really, really often. I eat quality foods. You know, I'm a student of the game. Like I really believe, like I think like even if you're not a pro wrestler, you should be in first class condition. Especially if you're going to be a wrestler. God, So I'm talking with these two guys at the end when the class was over. There's like an office area that leads outside. And she came up to me and she asked me, there was a show over the weekend on Sunday. She was going to be at the show. And I was like shocked kind of thing, Now, what she did also before, let me retract a second. What really started to like build my attraction, toward this woman was at the end of the class, her seriousness, like everybody, she was like the leader of, they go 1, 2, 3, team kind of thing, like, but it was like hard like that. Like I've never seen a woman do that before, like in my presence. Like I felt like it was something like I would do, like it was like, it's like I never seen, I mean, it was like something out of my mind, like a creation, like something that like I couldn't ask for anything better. I mean, like a captain, can you imagine like a woman like built to your specific, like just, I mean, like that would turn you on, like just everything. It's not just like the great body there, but it's like, so I'm seeing this incredible like seriousness and work ethic. It's something that I'm just like, I go, my God, this is like unbelievable. There's an unbelievable person here. And then she comes up to me at the end and asks me if I'm going to the show, and I kind of, I don't know. Like I said, I'm not. Now this is what was going on in my mind when I think about going to a show. I don't like sitting in the seats. I'm not a fan. Like I'm not a mark. I'm not there to be entertained. Like I want to be part of the show or working behind the show. I want to sit in seats like a fucking mark. That's what the fans do. It's nothing. That's not me. That's not a. And I just didn't want to come off like that to her the first time, like the first time I met her. Like I didn't want to project that because I thought I'd scare her away with my honesty. And she mentioned something like, well, she says, well, I got to go, a long way. She comes from San Diego all the way to school. There's another thing that, like, I traveled like 3 hours on the buses and rails to get to this fucking place. So when it came, and I didn't want to look if she's with the guys. I just couldn't, because then it would have like crushed me totally. So once I hear they have a boyfriend, and it's like all your hopes, whatever dreams, or especially if you have a good imagination like I do, it's like it can be like disintegrated in one sentence. Like it's over, like it really is, because it's there's nothing worse than like really having interest in just getting completely boxed. It's not like a rejection from just like another woman. It's like when you really see something that is unfathomable, and you just would be like, God, if there's a God out there, you would think that the universe would send you your perfect fit. And then it's always the same story. Like somebody, you're not what or they'll say it, just you're just not it for whatever reason. And the problem is, all these kind of women got so much currency. They're so visually captivating that you do not shine. I mean, these women want, like, they're, I don't blame them. I get, a stud, a fucking a diamond, a thoroughbred, not a donkey, like they want something, and I don't blame them. So I didn't bother looking, like I just didn't want all that because I saw Kishi was sitting there, and I just, felt like, hold your professionalism, even though you're just guy, trying to help out or work your way in. Don't, like, don't be too honest, or don't, it's just, so I held back. And then I thought about it. I go, where's the show? It's in Huntington Park on Sunday. And I said, the only reason I'm going to go is because she asked me. That's it. And mainly it was just like for her, like I felt like, you know, if I would, not just do whatever she says, but I'd show that, like, I'm willing to do whatever it takes to be at this woman's level. Like I really am one of those kind of guys. Like, not like be one of these dumb, these guys who do anything for you, like carry your bags kind of thing. I'm not like that. I mean, like, you're willing to, like, come out here to train, like, then I'm willing to come out here to, like, be part of the business. Like, I'm willing to work just as hard as you. And then I start saying to myself, dude, you're almost 50 years old, man. This woman's probably 25. The world is social conditioning, or like, it's like, so everything, it's you didn't do things the right way, and there's a price to pay for it. Like, now you're trying to finish your doctorate degree. You should have had all these things you should have had in your 20s, but I was too fucked up. Like, I was drinking. I didn't, gambling. I didn't know how to build a life. I didn't care. I thought, hey, you want a woman, you go to a massage parlor, you pay a couple bucks. Like, so I go to the wrestling show. I slept down. It was in Huntington Park, the Blue Line. Went almost, it's a couple blocks from there. And I was kind of nervous, like, oh shit. But I knew, because I used to go to the bicycle casino. I know where that road is. It was off a residential thing, but I found it. And I got there. Forgive me, it's like emotional. Like, when you start thinking about how much time and energy, like, you're, when somebody working out, like, I'm not eating right. I'm going all the way out of my way, to try to get in this business, to try to show this woman that, like, I'm like sort of. So I went to the show, and I literally stood the whole time, from 4 in the afternoon till like 10 at night, or whatever, 9. I stood the whole time. And I watched these guys do. I didn't care really, but I kept a positive demeanor, and she came up to me, kind of sort of gave me a hug. But I didn't want her to spend. I told her, real quick. I know you got serious. She was dressed up to perform. She looked just as good. Like it was like just. It was just incredible. I felt like, and she looked at me like, when it's like standing there, and it's like she might be like an inch taller than me, and she's like looking at me, and I'm just like, God, I could look at this person forever. I mean, it was like this. I never seen something like it was perfect for me, it's like, how much time I put into working out. I mean, just from August till now. Let's try to figure this out. Let's just take September, October, November, December, January, February, all of March. Coming up on mid-April. So it's like let's say 7.5 months. 7.5 months equates to 210 days plus 15, 225 days. 225 days, I probably have worked out 200 and maybe more, 225 or 215, 240. Can you imagine that? More than once a day on average. You take the park workouts in the afternoon or whatever. I mean, it's an insane amount of work, man. And that's just from August. I don't do it because I think a woman's going to want me, because I know they don't care. That was the case. They show the guy built walking around, and I'm not big or anything. 185 is not a big man, okay? It's not. My friend Pete told me fit is fit. Fit is not big. Big Papa Pump is big. Fit is fit. Now, I've seen all these guys, in my gym, whatever, these kind of skinny gay guys. They think they're, fit, whatever, but they don't got no thickness on nothing. They got no wheels. They got nothing. I don't care, and I'm not going to there to belittle them or anything, but any moron that spends their time on the phone and occupying equipment, they're not no warrior. They ain't no fucking nothing. And it's not important for me to give them any of the energy. Anyway, back to that woman. I mean, it was like, it's so, I'm seeing, and I'm watching, like, she's interacting with these kids. Like, I go, and this woman's like incredible. And I know she's got to have somebody. It's impossible. The universe is not going to send me something like that. There's no way. There's no way, because I know that's what it does. It's just, I've never had. Okay, I've never had before. Put 2 and 2 together. Okay, what does that mean? I've never had. Okay, yeah, no, I never had. Okay. And I try not to come off angry or nothing, but it's like, and so I start. Okay, so after the guys, then the girls come on finally. And I said, I'm gonna watch. I'm gonna see her do her thing, whatever, and then I'm gonna leave. And I said, well, see her do her thing, and then you leave. Then you don't get to tell her good job, like. So I said, I gotta stay to the end of the fucking show. Grind it out. You grind it out. All those hours, no food, just some water. I'm trying to keep a good, in my mind, I'm getting like hungry. I'm upset, but I waited it all out, man. I waited it all out. And I noticed she was like just talking with some of the other wrestlers, whatever. I was getting ready to leave. And I went to the bathroom and I said, I gotta do something. Like, I gotta fucking, before I leave here, like, I can't do this. I remember what happened. All of the couple of years I went to that bar, the manager thing. I became like Googling just after her, and we'll talk about that in another episode. It didn't matter how long I hung in there. It didn't happen or nothing. I've been through too many. I've seen this kind of thing. The stringing along as a friend, and now you don't get nothing. It's the dumbest way to do things. You have to like step up to the plate, kind of, and be able to like say, hey, I'm really interested, and then like just walk away and forget it. And if they give you a chance, it's beyond. I couldn't imagine getting a chance, okay, because it's never happened. So what I did was, after the bathroom there, I went in there, and she tried to hug me like a little bit, and I said, look, here's my card. And then I did the same thing that she did to me last week. She asked me, are you going to be there Wednesday? And I did the same thing. I said, are you going to be there Wednesday? And she said, yes. And then I walked away. Today's technically Tuesday morning. And I will be there Wednesday. Now, I'll be there Wednesday for two reasons. Because, like, if this woman will, give me that chance based on my tenacity and my passion, then I will fucking do anything. Like, I'm willing to show, like, that I am. That, like, there's nobody like that, there's nobody that grinds like me. There's nobody. There's guys that work out every day. I know. There's guys that are better built than me. I know. Guys that are better looking than me. I know. There's guys that are stronger than me. I know. But a lot of those guys are box stinkers. Like, what I mean, they do the same fucking thing. They're not willing to sacrifice like me. Instead of going to the gym, I'm willing to go out to that fucking wrestling school, like, to try to work my way into business, which more than likely will never yield anything. But if this woman's willing to do it, so am I. That's what makes me different than everybody else. I wouldn't believe it. I wouldn't believe, like, I never got you. Man, I never had it before. I've never had a beautiful woman like on me, kind of like me, kind of for me. My ex was the closest thing, my ex-girlfriend. But her what I found out from her very quickly, number one, I wasn't sexually attracted to her at all. Even when I first saw her, I was like, no, I didn't light up. There's a magic there, like I know, like, I could feel, like, when there's something really special. Now, she hasn't texted me once yet or called me. That's fine. But at least I gave her my card, like, and I know that, like, never had a woman ever call me up on it. Never. But just in case the school thing doesn't work out or whatever. Like, I'm like one of those guys, like, I will try, like, I really would. Like, I'm like that donkey. Like, I'm not a thoroughbred, you know, like, I'm willing to try to pull, like, you know, or walk, you know, the 40 miles it takes to get there. Like, you know, I'm willing to do it all, but I'm not a thoroughbred. I'm not a real, you know. I saw this actor, this guy, he's like 6'3", 6'4", good looking. I'm not that, man. You know, Johnny Burba guy, he lives in London or whatever like that. He reminds me of me a lot, you know. It's a hard luck case. Like, it's a hard, you know, like, he's got good taste like me, you know. Like, I don't know. He said talks about confidence, you know. Like, that's the only reason you're not getting is you're not confident. How can you be fucking confident when you're not getting pussy like you're not getting? How are you supposed to be confident when the women aren't giving you a chance? Are you believing in yourself? It's a false. It's a make believe. The reality is reality. You know, you pretend they're gonna see through your lies. And you're lying to yourself. Now, I know I made the comparison earlier about the bar manager. And I'm hoping that there's a massive difference between a regular that hangs out in the bar that likes the manager, you know, trying to get, and somebody really trying to work himself into a business. I know it's not going to happen. I know it's not. You're putting that out in the universe. It's never going to happen. I've never, you know, it's just, I don't know. I don't care. Like, I guarantee you, I can assure you, like, I will do more episodes and I will update you on when I find out, like, exactly. It'll just tell you, I'm seeing somebody. It's all like, I'll know and it'll be over. I know your hope, whatever. It's all gonna be. I Here's what I guarantee you. Here, let's analyze before. I'm doing this clairvoyant before we find out. We're gonna find out eventually. Eventually, I'm gonna, like, make my more intentions known. Like, my friend Ruben says, slowly. Well, slowly is still a decent pace, you know, like by giving her a card, you know, okay, so she knows who I am, you know, what I kind of do. And then, you know, we're gonna talk a little more here and there. And eventually, you know, either I'm gonna say, look, I would love, you know, go out dancing with you, or you know, get to know you better. And then she's gonna just, I'm seeing somebody, I'm not interested, I'm busy, you're not my, you know, like, what it's gonna land, like, you know, the what are they called? This, you know, the sewer, those heavy fucking 500-pound, the things that sit on the sewer, the metal tin or whatever. It's gonna fucking smash. It's gonna crush me. It's gonna be over in a sentence. I guarantee you. That's my prediction. It'll all come to an end in one sentence. It won't be like, I'll think about it. No, it'll. I guarantee you. Mark the time on this. 104:35, whatever. That when I try, like, you know, in any way, like, it's not gonna be coy. Like, it's not gonna be, you know, I'm gonna be pretty much direct. I'm just gonna say, would you, like, please? I mean, I'm gonna say, I don't know how to say, like, you know, because should you ask her out dancing, like for a cup of coffee, like what do you, whatever. I think it's whatever it is, and it's just gonna be over in one sentence. That's my prediction. That's the more than likely reality. Now, the ultimate dream is sure, like I'd love to get to know you more. You know, that's like a movie thing. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. And that's not me putting out to the universe. It's just a reality. You know, and that's what you have to realize that you're not going to get to fuck a woman like that. It just doesn't happen. Like me, it doesn't work that way. You know, you would think water seeks its own level, right? They're supposed to say, well, you know, that's all you do is work out, so you're going to get a woman like that. No. And this is why. Because the women that are like in great shape, that have bodies like that, their water level is guys that are status and money and power and success and everything. It's not comparable to a guy that does the same. It's not. There are some circumstances, but you know, those guys that are personal trainers, they got a lot of money or whatever, or they're young. I don't know. There's anomalies, rarities in everything. Those women that are in that kind of shape, that are they go for certain types of guys. They're not me. They're not me. I have 48 years to prove it. And okay, I had a negative attitude years ago, but I've changed. I listen to a lot of Wayne Dyer. Like I'm not that kind of person anymore, and it hasn't changed me getting any dates or meeting any women. I'm not getting opportunities, and it's not going to be. This woman is not going to do it. She's going to hang me out to dry. Or like you said, the meteor or whatever, this 500-pound sewer thing is going to crush me in one sentence. It'll be over. Whatever imagination, like a dream of like getting not just having sex with a woman like that, but like really having a relationship with a woman like that. That'd be my dream. I give up anything for something like that, everything. And it wouldn't matter. It wouldn't matter. It's never mattered. It never, there's nobody like that, they say there's somebody for everybody, but I'm too much of, an oddball. I really am. I really am. And I can prove it. Like when I go to that park on the weekends at night, I'm the only one like doing really hard work. There's nobody there. There's some clowns. They show up like they're going to gays. They're going to the bars or something. They get on the monkey. They're hoping I look at them, or some lesbian chicks or whatever. I don't know what they're doing there, and I don't care. I'm a guy that never made it. Okay, I'm a guy that never made it. What kind of woman wants a guy like that? And I don't blame them. I put too much in it. Stupid dancing. You're not the only one, man. There's plenty of broke street performers that did the same thing that I did, and they're just like hands in the air. What am I supposed to do? I went back to school. I put in the time. This stupid doctor degree that I'm 5 classes away from right now. I'm grinding for it. I guarantee you, it's not going to be, real. It's not that big of a deal. But I'll do it. I'll grind out the last 5 classes, to do it. But No, you don't. Keep doing the same thing, and you're guaranteed the same fucking thing. And I know. It's like, in the end, I'm gonna be a fool. I'm delusionally being like the same idiot. It's the same thing that I guarantee you, even though it doesn't sound like it. What happened with me at that bar with that manager? She reeled me in like, as a sucker. And I never got her. I never got it. No relationship, no one night standing, nothing. And that's what I feel that's what's gonna happen in this case. That's what's gonna happen with this. I mean, the best thing, I'll be honest, you know what? Best thing is like I just ask her spit it out sometime and ask her, like, don't drag it for a year and a half. Just ask her, like, hey, let's meet for a cup of coffee. I don't drink coffee, like, and I'll throw it out there, and then she'll say, no, I'm seeing somebody, and it'll be over. Like, I won't torture myself with the imagination for like a year and a half, like I did at that bar. That's what happened. It's awful. The point of repeating that story, what happened at the bar. I don't drink anymore, I don't go. But can you imagine, a year and a half going to this place, waiting for that perfect time to, somebody gets to know you there, like you're it's ridiculous. And that's what I feel like. Go down that same road, but you're gonna do it like with this professional wrestling school. Thinking that you're gonna like put in all this time there. Like, I mean, I initially thought, I didn't think I'd see somebody like this. It's like I wish I had lived vicariously through this woman. Like, like I think she's gonna be, she could be in the WWE. Like, she's that pretty. It's not just that she's pretty, like she has all of the tools necessary, which is an extremely rare thing. It's like it takes a special, like a rare, I know what it is. I know exactly how Vince McMahon thinks. I know because I see the products that he produces, that he puts out there. And I know, like, a woman like this, if she's not going to be there, but she'll definitely be, in any Glow or something. She's just too, like it's just really, really nice. Everything. It's like, you got to have it all. There's a reason why, like, people like Trish Stratus, Victoria, why they're there. It's not just, oh, they look pretty, boom, boom. No. There's a total presentation package of their the way they carry themselves, the way that they perform, the way that they cut their promos. Like, it's everything. And the way that their matches, it's a fan base. It's everything. This woman has all that. And she's not going to go for a guy like me. She's not. Or there's somebody there first that like he's way in. It always is. It always is. It would be the biggest miracle. Like, it's not going to happen, man. I'm just telling you. I said it before 20 minutes ago. I'm repeating it. I'm not putting it out in the universe. I'm just saying the reality. I just happened to go to this place, like out of happenstance, like for my own thing. Like, I'm not hoping to meet anybody. Like, I wasn't there for that. I was there, like, really for my own thing. You know how many years what I put in Do you have any fucking idea how many years I went on and off I've dedicated to working out with the dream of being in this business? It's insane. The morning of 9/11, I was I mean, you're insane how much time I put in on and off. 1990, whatever, I stumbled into the my high school weight room because I was playing baseball. I started doing on the universal machines. 1990, man. The reason it's not going to happen is because here's what it is. And it's like it always is. You're fighting an uphill battle. And I can list it off. You can put them in any order you want. I'm not successful. I'm too old. I'm overmatched. There's guys way better looking than me. There's people she relates with more, other wrestlers. There's a million reasons why. That's all. Choose one. That's all. It doesn't matter. I'm not going to get it. There's a million reasons why no. And it's the same story my whole life. It's always the same. The ex-girlfriend thing, she wasn't it. But then, I needed it for, I don't know what happened there. Like, it was just, I was more desperate, I was going to an AA meeting, to try to meet women. And there this woman was, she was drunk, and I saved her kind of thing, it's not like this, it's not like, it's not like an extraordinary thing like this, folks. Killer Kowalski said this at his school. He's training these guys, the small guys, whatever, and Triple H walked in. He was 6'4", 265, solid at that time. And Triple H Killer Kowalski just lit up. Now I know what he meant by that. Feel really good getting that off my chest, It's hard, You're on this planet for so long, right? No matter what. It would be really nice, In my gym I go to, it's all these gays. You think like the right woman would have she feel it like the Force, I know that's a Star Wars mythology, but you would think like just going out dancing. All my years going to gym. Living in LA. know, I would say every day I see a woman that's like, oh wow, it's like levels, you know. Oh wow, you know, it's nice. Then every once in a while I see something that's like, whoa. Even at that wrestling match, there was a Latina woman that was sitting in the front row. She got up and I looked at her. I said, whoa, you know. I went, wow, yeah, you know, kind of like that. I cannot tell you in my entire life how many times. I could definitely count on one hand. Definitely, it's that few. Anytime I saw a woman that was like you know, you're just sitting there and you just be like, first off, you'd have to know her, you know, like you can't. No, I'm not talking just the visually perfect, you know, visually just, but just like who, like wow, who are you? Like I want to know everything about you, you know, like you know, you're so great, you know, like I'm just enamored. I'm just fascinated. You're just so perfect for me, you know. I come to think of it, I don't think I can ever say that in my entire life. I'm trying to think how many times in my entire life have I ever really met somebody that I was really blown away by, like really blown away, but of interest, you know, not just the, you know, wow, you got a great body, I want to fuck you. Like I mean, that's there, you know, that exists a lot, I know, but there's more than that because if it's just that, you know, that can run its course very quickly. Get it, run its inner course quickly. You know, there's hot woman, you know, I just want to fuck you, and then that gets boring after a while. I know because the women that I've paid, you know, the whatever, just for like these massage women, you know, over my years, whatever, like that it's not that big of a deal, you know, and I've never fucked any one of them anyway. They're just get off, you know, women, and I've had some experiences with but it's not sex. But I'm trying to think in my entire life how many women like I've really was like just really interested in, like that was kind of like you felt there's a connection there, but for whatever reason it never worked because I never had. So I don't, in my entire life, I'm trying to think. It's a couple if there's any. Um, I think when I was 31, there was a woman. She was a stand-in. She was an Angelina Jolie lookalike. I remember her. Yeah, I was 31. I tried, you know. She was nuts, though, you know. But and then I remember a couple of years after that, there was this other woman, but I think she was a lesbian or something. She was her sister. And I don't even, but it wasn't like wasn't strong, like a real strong connection. Like there's really something that's magic. Like I said, it's like magic that clicks when it's somebody really right for you. I believe that, and I never had that. I never had it. Never had it. God's honest truth, I never will. And the reason is because it doesn't matter if I go to Vegas, in LA. It's the bar. It's so far beyond me becoming successful, or what is considered successful, that a woman is not going to see anything in me. They're going to size you up, like I said, based on all those factors. And I don't know how other people do it, and I don't care. I'm me, okay? And it's not anything special. It's not. It's not. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I'm not. You don't have anything to offer. I'm not a provider. I'm nothing. I'm not. That's why, I buy into the fact that I'm lucky to get a little lady action on the side here, for a donation for a couple of bucks. Because I've tried so hard over my life to get anything. I don't get it. Literally, I don't get it, and I don't get it. So it's like I'm like a bottom feeder, I hate saying any of this, but it's just the facts. It's just the facts of reality that I am not what any of these women that I see all the time that are beautiful. I'm not what they want. Excuse me. I'm not what they want. I'm not what they want. That's it, So no sense of getting frustrated over it. And this woman that basically has blown me away, what I've seen, I know it's all, it won't be my fault. It will be, I'll just ask, and it will be like over fast. No matter what, either here's the responses. Would you like to go out for a cup of coffee sometime? I would, but I'm seeing somebody. I'm in a relationship, so that's over. Now, let me think about it. That means no. It's just, it won't be yes. And if it's yes, like it's just, I only will do it like as a favor, but she's seeing somebody else. Like, it's not going to be you. It's not going to be me. Do you understand? It's not going to be me. It's not like Les Brown said, you're the one. You're the one. Like, all his faith, like he's a rare one guy, it's not going to be me. And that's not because I'm putting this out to the universe. It's just the fucking reality of it is. I never had. Do you understand? What I like is so high up, like put up by society, that you are not going to get it. Okay? It's the same thing like the women that go to nightclubs that are super hot. They're fawned after by everybody. They already have. They don't. It's not going to be you. It's not going to be me. It never has been. How could it not? How could it be? If you've been going for thousands of nights, how could it be if you spend a year and a half at a bar with a woman that you want that you never get? How could it be if this gorgeous woman that's like this wrestler that you don't think that she's got somebody? You out of your fucking mind? It's delusional, warped imagination thinking that it's going to be you. It's not going to be you. What I mean by it's not going to be me. And it's not because I'm putting that out to the universe. It's just the reality of 48 years of experience of being on this planet. That's why I didn't want to look when she left. I didn't want to look. Because if I saw a guy there, my mind would have just been like, my imagination, it'll be over. It'll be over soon. And I think that going to school thing is also a waste of time too. You're not gonna. It doesn't matter. It's gonna be taken advantage of in that too. So I'm not gonna let this thing all implode on itself. but I'm gonna figure out real quick, you know, like what I can get off, you know, just and then just say, forget all of this because it's not gonna lead anywhere. I have a pretty good vision of where things lead, and I could tell I already know, like, this is all, you know, not gonna happen, and I'm not gonna spend a year and a half like I did with that woman thing at that bar, you know, to get crushed like this. Or going down a road, being involved with some wrestling school that doesn't lead anywhere. I'm sorry, I know I'm proud, but it's just, so. So short-lived, you know, dreams and everything that I'm, you know, it really is when you get older. It really is. I just thought, you know, like God would guide me, like just one last time in the right direction. You know, like I gave up so many things that were bad and toxic in my life. I really did. Gave up drinking, gambling, and I really thought, you know, like if you're willing to really change, giving up those toxic behaviors, which would allow the good things to come in, and you'd be rewarded. And I have been, you know, working out, you know, looking good and everything. That's good and everything, but I gotta be honest with you, you know. Meeting a woman, you know, having a relationship is trumps. It's so. It's like it would be like being the WWE champion for me. Like if I could meet the right woman like that, that would be like the end of the world for me. Do you understand? It's like I never had. Never. That's like what I live for. I know it sounds so cliche, but it's something about finding your mate, your compatible partner, like somebody's just like you know. You know what it's like? You go through your whole life ex. You know, I don't know what more to say. You know, I don't know if most guys settle for whatever they can get. I don't know. I don't care. It doesn't matter. I only know me. I only know what I've been through. Only you know what you've gone through in your life. Only you know. How could you, you know, sympathize with women? You don't know. They're not guys. They don't know. I know I'm a guy like, you know, normal straight guy, like, you know, wants to fuck, you know, he's a horny guy, you know, like normal, go to night, bars, nightclubs, whatever. I don't know, like their social circle. I don't have the guys that I know. They're older, don't care. They already got when they were younger. Like if their testosterone levels are not like me. They're not, that's why I don't hang around anybody really because there's nobody for me to relate to. And this is what God does. Shows me, like right in front of me, puts this woman like that I wait that's like absolutely perfect, you know. And now you're gonna crush me one last time. I know. I know what it is. It's not gonna matter. It's not gonna matter how tenacious you are, or whatever. I know what's gonna happen. I already said it before 10 minutes ago. I'm gonna reinforce this one last time and then I'm gonna get off this. I'm gonna get crushed. I know it. I know it. It's going to be crushed. It's going to be fast this time. I'm not going to let it go a year and a half like it did with that dumb woman, that barmaid, that manager, you know. Give me false hope. She got drunk one time and kissed me, gave me her phone number, whatever, you know. It never led to nothing. And finally, it drove me so insane that I found out, yeah, she works at a rehab place. I went there because I had to step up to the plate, and I did, and it all crushed me all at once right there. I got the social media thing from her. Hey, dude, you show up at my review. Yeah, well, then I found out for sure after a year and a half of driving me nuts, Well, it won't be like this time. Even though I gotta admit, that was more kind of lust thing anyway. It wasn't, and I was different. I was a drunk, like there's a difference. I'm not like that anymore, I'm trying to think of the difference, really. But I can't. Yeah, I don't know. Like you do things when you're drunk, that you wouldn't do when you're sober, and it's not healthy either, That's the main reason I stopped anyway. So because of the health problems that I was starting to get, God was sending me, telling me, dude, you're going down the wrong road, and I immediately stopped over 3 years ago. God's not sending me something like this kind of woman. There's no way. There's no fucking way. There's no way. There's no way. I guarantee you. It wouldn't matter how long I tried everything. It's not going to happen. No way. We will conclude with this story. I know people are going to want to know, well, what happened with her? And and I told you. It's always the same. It always ends the same. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's just why? Why? You have good taste, man. You like these hot women. Yeah, we fine. Yeah, I know. Never got it. Never. It's not. There's no fucking way, man, that I'm gonna get. I know I'm not. Anyway, that's it. That's enough. Almost 2 hours on this. Anyway. All right. That's all for now. Warrior Junior signing off. Hope you like the openness and honesty of how I feel about attraction, real attraction. Boy, it's been a while. Surprising, Even